Greetings, guitar players. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to conquer the F chord. The F chord is one that gives most players a little bit of trouble. It's a little bit of a challenge when you're first learning, but I'm going to show you some tips that are going to help you to master this thing. First thing I want to encourage you to do is get in a posture that's going to make making this chord as easy as possible. If you see down here, I have a classical guitar footstool. Now, if you have one of these, great. If you don't, you can use, a box, a dog, whatever. Just something you can put your foot on. Elevate that left leg, and put your guitar up on this this elevated leg here. Neck's kind of raised up towards your head. There's a reason classical guitarists sit like this. The reason is not because they think it looks cool, but it actually makes playing the guitar easier and more efficient. So I'm going to encourage you to get in a good position like this. It's actually going to make making this chord easier. All right, now let me show you how to start tackling this thing. All right, the ultimate goal is to make a full bar F chord like this. But the way we get to there is by starting small and building up. First thing I want you to do is take your first finger here and lay it across the first two strings, the E and B strings. That's a small bar. You're just barring two frets. You're fretting both of those strings at once on the first fret with one finger. Now get to where you can make those sound cleanly. You don't want them to sound like, but cleanly. Now every time you try this and it doesn't work, don't get frustrated, because you're actually building strength in your hand every time you try it. Eventually you're going to get to that point where it works. Once you can fret those two, then I want you to take your second finger here, place it on the second fret of the third string, and let's play those three strings. And keep practicing that until you can play those three cleanly. If it sounds like this, it's all right. Just keep trying. Every time you try it, you're building strength in this hand. Once we get these three down, we're going to add your ring finger here to the third fret of the fourth string. And we get to where we can make that one. Now, next thing we're going to do, we're going to move this ring finger over here to the fifth string, and we're going to push your little finger, your pinky finger, on the third string of the third fret of the fourth string. All right, now once we can get this chord cleanly, now we're going to take our index finger and lay it all the way across these strings. And again, if it sounds like this, don't despair. Every time you try it and you don't succeed, you're still building strength. Now, Sam, can you hand me a Sharpie? Is there a Sharpie over there? That'll work, thanks. Okay, great. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you on this finger, I'm not using the exact bottom flat of my finger to fret the string. I'm going to mark kind of where I tend to use this part of my finger towards the side. I kind of roll it that way, not flat like that, but I kind of roll it back to make this bar chord. Now remember, with your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist, your fingers, your hand, you kind of have a universal joint here, and you can try different angles. What I like to do is lay my fingers very gently on the strings without pushing down, and get to a point where this feels the most comfortable. When you're first learning this, sometimes your fingers want to do that, bend over this way. You want to have them coming down pretty much perpendicular to the strings, maybe slanted a little bit this way, kind of like rolling this finger over. It'll really help, but you can experiment with different angles to see which one works. All right. Now, another thing you can try is take a capo, and when you put a capo on your guitar, it makes it lowers the action a bit. So you could put it on the first fret here. Try it. You could move it up to the second fret. And try it. Maybe the third fret. And it should be easier to make this chord up here with this capo on. And it may be a good way to introduce yourself to making these full bar chords by using the capo, lowering the action, making it a little easier to press the strings down. And once you're successful, say down here at the 3rd fret or the 5th fret, wherever, and you can make it there okay, then try moving it down one. If you're okay there, move it down another, you know, and then finally take it off, and you know, you'll get to this point. Now, one thing that can fight you in making the F chord is if your guitar is not set up properly. If your strings are too high off the neck, it's called the action. That's how far off the neck your strings are. And it's not uncommon for a beginner to have a guitar that doesn't have great action. One easy way to tell is if there's a guitar store near you and you go into that store and you try playing some of the nicer guitars, you might find out some of them are a lot easier to play than the one you have, and that's probably because they're set up better. You could take your guitar to a guitar store or a guitar tech. He'll take this little plate off, adjust the truss rod, give it what's called a setup. Makes the guitar much easier to play, and that's going to help you in learning this chord. Okay, you could also try this on, you know, if you have access to an electric guitar or a classical guitar. Try it on some different guitars. You might find it's easier, like, wow, I can do this on an electric guitar. Come back to my acoustic and it's hard. So you might try it. It'll just show you that the different setup, the different gauge strings, that kind of thing can make a difference. Okay, so the important thing is just persevere. Every one of us that are guitar players, 99 out of 100 of us struggled with this F chord when we first came across it. And it's something, stick with it, you will get it. And I hope this helps. Pass it along to anyone else that you think it might help, and keep picking. We'll talk to you later.